I'm Paul.
And I'm Drew.
I complete the homework I'm supposed to do the night before.
I just go get my work done with my teachers, take the opportunity as best as I can.
I study for homework and make sure I get like A's on my tests.
At Lions time, I either study for upcoming tests or complete homework or go speak to a teacher that I need to go speak to.
Usually just complete the work that I'm assigned to do that I'm too lazy to do at home, really.
All right, good morning, folks. Here we are going to be having some information about Howard Lions time. So in a few moments here, you're going to be able to get a step-by-step video here about how to sign up. So you might want to be able to take out your cell phones. Teachers credit here right now, taking out cell phones because you're going to be able to sign up here and learn about how to sign up for Lions time. We're going to have our first official Lions time next week. You're hearing a little bit about what it's all about. Let's hear from Ms. Bundy, our SGA Executive Board President, talking a little bit about the benefits of Lions time.
Hey, Howard Lions. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about the use of Lions time. Lions time is a great study period for those of you who missed a day because you were sick, for athletes, or people involved in extracurricular activities or clubs and need to complete their work and didn't have the chance to complete it before. Lions time has many benefits. One benefit of Lions time is you can complete your homework and classwork in your classroom periods. Another benefit is you can come to the Media Center to read or check out a book or work independently on a research project. You can also go to the cafeteria during Lions time to work with your friends on a group work project. And it's important that you guys stay aware of announcements teachers tell you guys because they will have opportunities for you guys to come to their classroom to study tests, to review for test material or classwork material, or study sessions in general in case you guys don't understand it in class. That's a great way for you guys to ask questions in case you didn't have the opportunity to ask it before. So overall, Lions time is a great way for you guys to be productive and work effectively to get things done and accomplish tasks you didn't have the opportunity to do before. It's important that you guys sign up. You must sign up for Lions time, and there's only a limited amount of spots, though. So now we're going to watch instructions on how to sign up for Lions time so you guys can be successful.
All right, so find out a little bit about what you can use Lions time for. This is a great time for you to be able to get together with a teacher, get answers on tests or questions, review, prepare for, just get help. Okay, I know that you guys have busy schedules, so I definitely think that it's a time that you want to be able to take advantage of during the school day, so you don't have anything scheduled like after school practice or have to get on the bus. So be sure that you are taking advantage of this time to make sure that you can be successful here at Howard High School. So we want to know how you sign up. We're going to see that in a second here. So your phones are in there. So you're going to be going to howardlionstime.com. You're going to see that website, flashing up on the screen there. But howardlionstime.com is where you want to be able to go. Type in here, and you're going to be seeing a little step-by-step tutorial here, made by one of our own students here, Zach Sense. So thank you, Zach, and Mr. Zarin and the programming club there. They work on getting this site up and running and make sure that it is there for you to use. So let's watch this little video on how to sign up.
Hi, I'm Zach. I'm going to show you how to use Lions time.
Website.
So first type in howardlionstime.com and it'll bring you here. I'll give you a second to do that. So next you're going to type in your username, which is going to be the same username as your Canvas login. So then your password is going to be the last 4 digits of your username, then a dash, and then your grad year. So for this student, it would be 9999-2018. So then you're going to type that in and hit sign in. And that'll bring you to the home page. So on the bottom here you have the menu. If you click on it, you'll have 4 options pop up: sign up, passes, settings, and log out. So to sign up for a pass for Lions time, you're going to hit sign up, and that'll bring you to a list of departments. So you choose the department that the class you want to go to is in. I'm going to choose tech because I'm going to sign up for Mr. Zarin. So then you swipe over, and then there's a list of teachers. So I'm going to click Nick Zarin because that's who I want to go see. And then I'm going to swipe over again, and you'll see the list of purposes. So I'm going to hit homework. Once you fill out all that stuff, a little submit button will pop up at the bottom. You want to click that, and then it'll bring you to your pass. You should probably take a screenshot so it'll be easier to pull up your pass when Lions time comes. And so now let's look at the settings. So click on that, and this gives you all the information about you. You can click on any of these fields to change them and hit save settings, and you can change your password down here. So if you didn't screenshot your pass the first time and you want to get back to it, just click the menu and hit passes, and so it'll bring you to all your passes. Okay, so finally, if you want to log out, just hit the log out button and it'll log you out of the site. So I hope this clears up any confusion about how to use the site. If you need any help, my name is in the bottom left corner.
All right, great information there from Zach about how to sign up on howardlionstime.com website. If you missed this or you want to go back, we're going to be putting this up on YouTube. So whether it's Howard360 TV on Twitter, or I'll also tweet out the link as well so that you can go back and check this if you haven't done that today, or maybe you didn't have your phone or something with you. So you can do it on your phone. You can also obviously do it from any computer or device there that accesses the internet. So I'm joined here with Mr. Sackett here, and one of the things I've been noticing, Mr. Sackett, is last week we obviously had several hurricanes that were hitting, Texas and then Florida. And one of the things listening to the news, I heard several times being mentioned there, people saying we're sheltering in place, we're sheltering in place. What is shelter in place, and how do we do it?
So shelter in place is when we have a severe weather risk in our area, and certainly Maryland is no stranger to severe tornadoes, hurricanes, extreme weather, or if we have a nearby fire, or if there's a chemical spill near us, we would want to stay in our classrooms, in our school, just to make sure that we are not going to be impacted by the elements outside. Generally, when we'd have a shelter in place for extreme weather situations, we'd bring our relocatable classrooms, our portables right inside the building. That's something that we don't necessarily need to do today when we practice this drill that we're about to practice. We're actually going to practice two drills at once right now. We're going to practice a shelter-in-place drill followed by a duck, cover, and hold on drill. The drill for duck, cover, and hold on would be for similar things if there's a risk of structural damage to the building, pieces of ceiling falling down, there's an earthquake, which we have had right here in Howard County since we've been in school, not this year obviously, but we've had that in the county, or if there's other kinds of significant risks to structural damage. In that situation, all students and staff should get under their desks for support to make sure that anything that falls doesn't harm us. So at this time...
So would we be doing it in that order, or it'd be like, all right, so we would first do duck, cover, and hold on because a tornado comes through, and then because of damage or whatever, we're going to shelter in place?
No, first we would want to shelter in place to make sure that everybody's in a secure location, and then if the situation warrants and the elements change, we might say at this time we need to duck, cover, and hold on.
Okay, so let's go ahead and practice that then, Mr. Sackett.
Okay, so the announcement you'd hear for shelter in place is shelter in place 3 times as follows, so I'll do that right now. Attention all staff and students. Shelter in place. Shelter in place. Shelter in place.
So at this time, you should be in your classrooms or your locations right now going through what you would do if you had to shelter in place. So take a look around your classroom. Your teachers are directing you right now to be able to secure the location, get into a safe spot there, and hunker down. I mean, that's the big thing that it comes down there, is we're not sure how long it would take for us to be able to proceed to the next level there, but you would need to make sure that your the surroundings and your environment is in a safe spot. So go ahead and do that right now. Need some like Jeopardy theme music or something like that. So.
Well, so let's say that at this time the situation has escalated and perhaps there's a threat of structural damage to the building. So at this time I'm going to call duck, cover, and hold on. Duck, cover, and hold on. Duck, cover, and hold on.
I can see Mr. Bulger showing in the studio there, and so we would be doing it as well, where we're going, getting down here. I'm like tripping up on this blanket that's down here, but getting down underneath. This is one of those things where ceiling tiles, anything that's in the ceiling there does pose a risk there. So you definitely do want to be able to get and see some kind of cover there. So it does kind of seem crazy like getting under your desk and whatnot. but there are situations where, like I said, something could be falling in from the ceiling, and you do want to be able to protect yourself from anything that's in there as far as structural damage. With things like, for example, like that shelter in place, you mentioned the stuff as far as like chemical spills or something like that. So what would be something they could do if that was happening with, you know, like the doors and everything like that?
Absolutely. So what I'll say right now to end this drill, to get people up off the floor, and for all drills, is all clear, all clear, all clear. So at this point, if you hear that, that means that whatever threat to our safety, it is okay now to kind of resume normal activities. So to answer the question, what do we do if there is a biological spill, a nuclear explosion in a nearby town that the wind brings us, is we would do everything we can in our individual classrooms to seal up the windows, to, if you have like extra layers on, use one of those layers to jam it underneath the doorway to prevent any kind of vapors or spills coming in, especially if we're in a science classroom or a lab classroom. If we have like vents and fans going, we'd want to turn those off immediately. And we also, at the school level, we'd make sure that we turned off our HVAC systems, that we didn't have the air circulating, just to make sure that we all stay as safe as possible.
Got it. Now, we obviously just did something where we had our cell phones out with howardlionstime.com. Tornado hits, all this stuff happens. I think one of the first things I'm thinking is I'm going to call mom and, you know, let her know I'm freaked out here. So in the case of an emergency, what are we doing with like cell phones? What, like, you know, how do we sit there and make sure that we can do what we need to do here, but then also make sure that we can manage communications outside?
Right. So one thing that all staff should have, every staff member has a red emergency folder with their name on it that lists all the drills, and you are welcome to ask your teachers, hey, what do we do in these different types of situations? This is not secret information, right? But one of the things that's in everybody's emergency folder is this little announcement about cell phones. And it says specifically during a lockdown drill, which we'll practice later on down the road, but we want to make sure that we're not spreading misinformation about what's going on at the school. Sometimes we don't have the opportunity to get over the announcements and say, shelter in place because there's a tornado coming this way from the east and it's doing this and there's a possibility. We just want to make sure that safety first. And my concern is that if we start sending information home, we're all sheltering in place, and we start guessing what's going on, well, if you send that message home, then all of a sudden our parents and guardians are saying, oh my gosh, this is happening at the school, and that might not be the case. We might have people rushing to the school when they don't need to, and then we can't get our emergency personnel in, who really is our first line of defense. So it's really important that we have kind of one line of communication coming out. You know, we will communicate to our community what's going on as we get the information, but it's important that it's kind of coming straight from Principal Novak or myself or someone in the front office, so this way there's no misinformation going out there and kind of spreading panic and alarm when we all need to remain calm and safe.
Right. And I think that's definitely one of the things that's very important there, is that, you know, it is easy to kind of go into that panic mode and be able to say, all right, you know, let's start, you know, calling everyone, and all of a sudden parents call, come up here really panicked. And we definitely want to make sure that you can get in contact with them, and that, you know, if we need to be able to evacuate the building or have them come pick up students, that we'll communicate that, and we have a procedure in place. But it can't just be like, hey, I'm down in, you know, the villa, come down to the villa and get me. We'll have a whole procedure in place where we actually go, and there's a release point where you have to go, check in, check out. So I know it's one of the things that a lot of times for students, you guys only see like one part of the drill, but there's a whole plan in place that we go through as far as how do we make sure that we manage that evacuation and emergency process. So we actually, you know, these training drills like this help us, but we're also going to be doing some additional staff training coming up next Friday, where we're actually going to run through some scenario there as far as what would you do, you know, in the event of an emergency. So it's important for us to plan for things like this. We appreciate the time that you have taken today. Feel free with some of the additional time that you have there, talk a little bit more about emergency preparedness, specific things in your room, you know, where to go, what to do, what happens if you're in the hall when the, you know, goes in there, or you're in the bathroom, or for this drill, that drill. It's definitely important, and we can never really have enough time to be able to adequately address these issues here. We mentioned hurricanes as well, so feel free, if you are talking in your group there, in your class, talk about ways that you are helping the folks who are impacted by Hurricane Harvey, Hurricane Irma, and I know there's a lot of donation efforts out there, and so there's still things that we can do as Howard High School to help support those folks who were impacted. Then definitely let us know what we can do for collections or donations. So have a great day.